I think we can actually get started on the first presentation. So the first presentation today is Tyanita on their work of assessment of community concerns after the Lower Beck earthquake using social media narratives.
Yeah. Thank you very much. So I will share my screen. Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Okay, thank you very much. So good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for giving me this opportunity, this chance to discuss further about our research on how we could assess the community concerns using social media narratives. I'm Tyanita Puti, Marindah Wardhani. So I'm former master students from Turing University, and I've already graduated. So thank you. I will start my presentation. So this presentation focused in 2018 Lombok earthquakes, where several devastating earthquakes struck many locations. This earthquake series caused immediate physical damage and loss of life, and even long-term damage to disaster survivors and communities. Then to portray the status and the needs of the survivors in disaster shelters or site, the Indonesian government conducted a field survey, but almost 2 months after the first earthquake struck. So consequently, immediate concern and need assessment could not be achieved. Further, assessment fatigue frequently happened in conducting post-disaster on-site assessment. This situation happened when various agencies repeatedly assessed the suffered survivors after the disaster happened. So sometimes this field survey resulting in useless information. In addition, the government field survey did not reflect detailed emotional and social concerns of the survivors and pro-social behavior of surrounding communities. Since 2018, social media has been penetrated to more than 50% of the Indonesian population and increasing ever since. So this data revealed that social media can be considered as a potential data source in post-disaster assessment. Using social media, we investigate the physical and social needs and concerns of the disaster-affected communities in Lombok earthquake. Our objective includes first, categorize tweet using machine learning and natural language processing. Then we categorize tweet using machine learning. Then we perform the narrative analysis to better understand disaster survivors' precise needs and concerns. Then a proposed consideration to support decision makers in promoting action for further relief operation. So our focus is 2018 Lombok earthquake, which located in the south part of Indonesia, where magnitude 6.5 earthquake series struck Lombok and West Nusa Tenggara Island tremendously in July and August 2018. So our research methodology is like this. So in this study, we perform natural language processing using text learning. Using data collected from Twitter, we extracted text from URL that are tagged on the tweet to enrich our purpose. Then we conducted data pre-processing to eliminate noise, duplication, URL, username, punctuation, and stop words. As there are many slang words used on the tweet, we also perform slang word conversion. Then tweet after we categorize the tweet, then we perform natural language processing using several word-to-vec-word embedding, then several neural network algorithms to obtain the best result. Then We conducted also spatial analysis, and this analysis is performed to extract narratives from categorized tweets and categorized tweets from the natural language processing. And then we visualize a cumulative 3 months post-disaster narratives into the map to ascertain the detailed needs and concern in sub-district wise. Then we also conducted the time dimensional analysis to observe categorized tweet into several period of time to observe detailed concern. First of all, for data collecting, we retrieve all tweets in Indonesian language of Lombok earthquake from July 29 to October 30, 2018, located only in particular sub-district in Lombok and West Nusa Tenggara district. Then for the text categorization, we divided the narratives based on the 2 big classification. Firstly, physical and material concern. Mostly we extracted from the DTM data as mentioned on the table. Then subjective statement represent emotional and social narratives based on the taxonomy introduced by Imran et al. As mentioned on the table also. Then the result is that the firstly spatial analysis we perform as needs and concern assessment in sub-district wise, where we retrieve social and emotional statement pertinent to physical and material concern discussed by the community. Then this is physical and material concern distribution map for the Lombok earthquake. From this map, we can see that according to the Twitter data, infrastructure condition, shelter condition, and non-food item reach the highest concern related to the physical and material concerns. Then from social and psychological concern distribution map, we can see that according to the Twitter data, sympathies, support, donation, and volunteering tweets dominated in almost all sub-districts in the island. While to precisely observe narrative and concern, we scrutinize the tweet into week 1 was the first earthquake, week 2, week 3 to week 7, and week 8 to week 14 was the first earthquake. Then from the infrastructure condition, we retrieve 60% of the tweets from North Lombok near the earthquake epicenter. And we can see here week 3 to 7, the narration predominantly about the infrastructure damage and disruption report. Then from week 8 to week 14, the narration were more about the host reconstruction for the earthquake survivors. Well, for the shelter condition, the narrations of this shelter condition broadly obtained from also the north part of Lombok Island, and this concern gradually increased as the earthquake struck, while the survivors narrated mostly about their condition in the evacuation shelters. And some of the tweeters complain about the shelter condition that heat during the day and the lack of privacy as a basic psychological needs for the human being. So this can be considered for the next shelter building in the next disaster. Then for fear and trauma expression, originally this tweet obtained from directly affected sub-district, then dispersed to the neighborhood sub-district even far away from the earthquake epicenter. Then reported more than 40 children had headache because of the fear and trauma, and some of them had also sudden fever after the earthquake, indicating the trauma. Then we reveal also social support and sympathy narratives escalate over the time, and also dispersed to the distant sub-district. So this narration represent benevolence and altruism from communities toward the disaster survivors. Then donation and volunteering narratives also dispersed to neighboring sub-district. And we found the interesting finding that many tweets include bank account for those who wish to donate that signify the philanthropic behavior among the communities. And we can see that the distribution of this tweet were concentrated firstly in the to the earthquake-stricken area, because we also found that many organizations came directly to the sub-district directly stricken by the earthquakes to distribute the donation. So the dynamic of the community's needs and concerns over the time can be seen on the concern comparison graph mentioned. So as a conclusion, our study found that first, social media is a powerful as a source in disaster needs and concern assessment. Then social media is a tool to promote benevolence and altruism, especially during disaster, as a sympathy and support tweets are dominated based on our data. Then most sympathy and support statements were obtained as the representative of religiosity, indicating that individuals might use religion to cope with distress caused by disaster. Then local communities and relevant stakeholders can use social media also to share government announcements related to disaster recovery and response, ensuring that local community responds quickly. Then geographical mapping to identify needs and concerns will provide better disaster response plan. Then this study has several significances, such as firstly, proposed methodology help obtain specific information even from the remote area. This diversity and variation of the information about disaster affected communities' concern and needs can be obtained. This study performs opinion mining as detailed investigation of what is needed and discussed in particular areas to accommodate the subjectivity of the concerns. Then disaster victims' needs and concern ranging to immediate aftermath to the latter phase of the recovery process. So this study can incorporate both spatial and temporal dimensions of needs assessment. Then social media data are critically important to obtain people's perspective on disaster response and recovery. Through this study, local people perspectives may be used to overcome concerns and needs of disaster affected communities. So thank you very much.